Hello, in this video I'd like to go over how you would set up your Worldox environment to allow your users to delete files, but ensure that those deleted files ended up in the Worldox Salvage bin in case you needed to recover them for later use. So we're going to do this setup in Worldox WD Admin, and we're going to have to go into 3 different areas for these settings. We'll need to be going into our cabinets area, group security, and Worldox preferences. So I'm going to start off in cabinets. I'm going to open my cabinets up. I have my cabinets listed here, and the cabinets that I want to focus on are my network-based production cabinets that I'm actually saving documents in. So if you have legacy cabinets, those will be set as read-only. You won't have to set this setting on those because you can't delete the documents from the legacy cabinet. You would be moving them to a production cabinet. So we don't need to worry about the setting on that. But for your production cabinets, in this case I have, let me change my sort order on this. I've got this firm workspaces, my client files, my personal files, and an accounting cabinet. So these 4 cabinets are the ones that I'm concerned about. And if I let users start deleting documents and files from these cabinets, I want to ensure that they go into the Worldox Salvage bin, so if we need to recover them, we can. So one at a time, I'm going to click on each cabinet, and what I want to look for is you have a setting off to the right here called Enable Salvage. You need to make sure that's checked in order for this cabinet to be covered by the Worldox Salvage bin. So we're just going to go into each cabinet, make sure Enable Salvage is checked. If it's not, check it, and then click the Save button and save those changes. Same for the next cabinet. Once again, just checking that Enable Salvage and saving. And now I can exit out of here. And at this point, we've enabled the salvage bin protection for those cabinets. The next thing we want to go into is in Worldox Preferences. Under your Copy, Move, Delete options, there's 3 options that it'll present to the users when deleting files if you leave this in the default shipping manner. You have Allow Non-Salvage Delete, which allows them to bypass the salvage bin. You have Allow Delete Shredding, which allows them to bypass the salvage bin and also makes the file unrecoverable even from the disk it was deleted from. And then you have Allow Delete in Network Repositories, and this is the one that you want to give them so that they send the files to the salvage bin. So what we're going to do is on Allow Non-Salvage Delete, we're just going to click on this and change it to No. And Allow Delete Shredding, we'll double click on that, set that to No. So after we've double clicked on these and then set them to No, the only one we have left set to Yes is allow the delete in network repositories, and that's what's going to give them the option, their only option, to send it to the Worldox Salvage bin when they delete files. So once we're done with this, we just exit out of the preferences, and now we need to go into group security, and we need to make sure that they have access to the file delete menu pick. In order to do that, what we're going to do is just highlight the group Everyone over in the left user group. So if you're not in user groups, just go to user groups, highlight Everyone. We'll go into features, and I've got it sorted by class here, so we'll just scroll down till we get to the file features, and then we're going to look for file delete. And right here you can tell the ones with the blue gears, they're allowed access to. The ones that have the little red line through the circle or the white line through the red circle, those are blocked, so they don't have access to that. So we need to give them access to the file delete. What we can do is just put the check mark next to it, hit allow it, click on yes, and then hit the save button. So make sure you hit the save button after this to save those changes. Now if we go into Everyone Features Allowed, we should see, if we scroll down to the files again, we now see that they have access to file delete. So they're going to see the file delete menu through the Worldox client. So that's the setup that you have to do in admin to get your environment set up that way. You have to enable the salvage on the cabinets. You have to go into Worldox preferences and set no on those two delete options. And then you need to make sure that your users have access to the file delete menu pick through group security. Now at this point we can go ahead and exit out of WD admin. We're all done in here. So let me just shut this down. And then I'm going to log into a user's computer and restart the Worldox client to pick up these changes and make sure that it works the way I want it to work. Okay, so I've logged on as one of my end users. I've restarted the Worldox client so it would pick up all those changes we made in WD admin. Now I want to see how the delete works. Now you can either highlight a file or check a file and hit the delete button, or pull down the file menu and choose it from file delete. Notice that that menu pick is there now since we made it available as an allow through Worldox security groups. Or you can right click on a file and find the delete menu there. Now once you choose delete from any of those options, the only option you should see here is move to salvage bin. If you're seeing an additional option such as just delete or shred, then in the Worldox preferences you didn't set those two options to no. If you set those two options to no and you only allowed the delete from network repositories, then you should just see this move to salvage bin. And now when I click OK, it's going to delete the document from Worldox, move it to the Worldox salvage bin, where it will remain indefinitely until you either restore the file or purge it from the salvage bin. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And now deletes the file. It gives you your confirmation that it was deleted here. And that file is now in the Worldox salvage bin. Now in a separate video, I'm going to show you how you go into the salvage bin and can restore files, and also how you can purge the salvage bin to keep your salvage bin cleaned up. So this concludes how you set up the environment so that users can delete files from Worldox, but that they're forced to move all the files they delete into the Worldox salvage bin so you can recover it at a later time if needed.